Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 Episode 5. Looks like baby Panda. That's interesting. That's weird. It's a life of its own. Something from nothing. At first glance, that defies the laws of alchemy. We broke through some sort of plateau. They're just out there now, alive. I've been thinking about something like this with the AI thing. Just my gut feeling, which could be horribly wrong. Despite the insane speed at which it seems to be developing, there's sort of this breakthrough point that is either 1 or 0. And like, it's possible to have something of an insanely high value across a different characteristic without ever hitting 1 in the way that matters, if that makes sense. A growing thesis that I have, just in general, is that there seems to be a pervasive, gross underestimation and undervaluing of humanity that just permeates so many things. Abstract thought. What is the form? What is the quality of something? What makes it possible for something to be greater than the sum of its parts? What is that breakthrough thing? Bottom line is, this is amazing for him in this world. It's sort of unreal. And also so cute. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I can understand why they'd be terrified of him. He is dangerous. Like, what's the limit on that? It was made with love and cuteness. And friendship. Panda is the key to all this. Spoiler alert. That's my prediction for this arc. We didn't need any of the rules. We didn't need that instruction manual episode. Panda is the solution to all of life's problems. Things have gotten so much worse since we saw him last. Coincidence? What the hell is that? What is that? Why is it wearing a tie? He could have an army. An adorable army. I think maybe the solution to all this is keeping all the kids out of Tengen Forest. I don't really feel safe with Tengen. Oh my god. He's just creating like his own little Ghibli world. It's weird. What is going on? Oh, did we like move someone's soul? I see. So maybe we're not like creating new things. Oh, okay, this is a little bit different. In the way that this show makes me suspicious, you know, like making Gojo all powerful, just knowing that that can't last. This is too cute for this world. Like your little house of stuffed animals, it's not gonna last. So I'm a little bit unclear on this, but maybe this isn't actual creation. It seems more like we're taking souls and putting them inside of bodies. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's saving souls. Yeah, for our army. Yeah, that shook a lot of things up, for sure. Changed the power dynamics. As that would. Oh, you too. I mean, I guess it's not super surprising, given this guy's previous scruples and his ability to trying to kill students. And sort of like that old chestnut of, if he poses any threat at all, we have to take it as 100% certainty and murder him. Actually, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's to eliminate a threat, not to steal for oneself a massive amount of power. That's just a bonus. Still, I feel disappointed though somehow. There was a time where we fought side by side. It also hurts extra bad how this all came out in the heels of just terrible villain attacks, you know, and then the answer is turning on each other. Okay, here it is. 3. 3 for 1? 3 to 1? Well, it's like the American political system, governmental system. Okay, here's some remorse. At least, I guess. He's gone. Is he really gone? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god. This is crazy. What the hell? He just ignored the fight. That's Panda. What good will it do anyway? That's very broad-minded and also sort of humiliating. Oof. Oof, crazy. I felt that. Poor Panda. You'd think with all the death recently, we might want to preserve some characters, but no, it's like every episode. I mean, this is like a record low. I'm so conflicted about this. I have mixed feelings about this. Like, it's really impactful. I feel terrible for Panda. I feel like there was just so much more to do with Masamichi. I mean, it's very convincing. It's very unsettling that they actually are moving against each other as the culling game approaches, no less. They're still like weirdly fighting their petty, stupid battles for positioning and power in sort of the old way, not adapting to the new changes and what the world actually looks like right now, which I think came across a lot last episode. episode when we actually saw the Zenin clan. At least in my mind, I thought they were this powerful crew behind the scenes and they were kind of running things. And then you get an in-depth look at the inside of their compound and they're just this weird group of squabbling shut-ins living in a dim house with one swinging light, fighting over little peanuts. The world is ending, but you know, we gotta kill Masamichi because honestly, I don't even really know. He poses a threat. He was on Gojo's side. He protected Yuji. The nerve of the old man to act remorseful. Like, why didn't you tell me sooner this could have been avoided? Like, it could have been avoided if you just didn't do it and if you weren't such a bootlicker. And Panda, like, being Panda, I think the line, "You're just the knife that fell upon him," that's both merciful and also cutting. Because it's not directing the wrath or anger at him, but because you're just sort of like a non-entity. You're just gonna follow whatever is going on. Your rationale is weak. You're non-compelling as a human being. You have a cool guitar, but that kind of like wears itself out really quickly. It's not that cool. It's not believable that you're a rock star. You're kind of pathetic. It's sort of like in the Zenin category in that there's really not that much there that's interesting. We gotta lose a character for that. What about his forest kids? What about Ghibli Forest? Oh, that kind of Mai and Maki stings right now.
Hakari 検事は今栃木県の立体駐車場跡地で掛け試合の胴元をして金を稼いで
Cool.
掛け試合
You just broke the first rule of Cursed Fight Club.
思いっきり呪術規定8条の秘密に抵触してるじゃないですか。
Oh my god, no. No, not more reading. Not more manual reading, please. Alright. Sorcerers must not reveal the existence of sorcery curses to non-sorcerers. Basically the first rule of Fight Club.
なんで着替えんの
はかりさんは上と揉めて定額食らったんだ。
It's not gonna like
呪術規定も
what we
現在
represent.
進行形で破ってる。
Yeah.
当選関係者ってバレたら逃げられるかもしれない。
We're going undercover.
先輩たちはみんなろくでなしって言ってる。でもあの乙骨先輩が自分より強い。
Yeah, that was really high praise. It's crazy. Sort of hard to believe.
ここでやってる掛け試合に出場させてくれ。
No flinching. Yeah, this is, I mean, is this a reference to Fight Club? I wonder.
なんなら胴元の前であんたを転がしてみせようか。
そっかいきなり合わせてくれって言ったら警戒されるか
Yeah, we gotta go in through the tournament, which is pretty cool.
黙ってよっといいんですか
I bet Yuji will blow it at some point.
今日のシード枠にそいつを当てる。ただし、出るの
The coolest infiltration mission ever.
虎杖は内側から探りを入れてくれ。俺もその
So cool. It's such a good premise.
に潜入する。
It's a whole arc's premise in itself as a subset of the main arc. It is time perhaps for Yuji to destroy something beautiful.
10日の17時期限まで9日
Yeah, the deadline also sort of crazy. That's some stakes to basically everything that's happening. And man, have we been busy, like in the lead up to the Culling game. We got introduced to the Culling game. We got this whole textbook about it. And Maki's like, you just hold that thought for 1 second. I need to eradicate an entire bloodline, which happens to be my own bloodline. And then also the principal of the high school, tragically. And now Fight Club.
ルールは2つ。逃げるな。術式は使うな。
Oh, it's perfect for him.
俺は別に使ってもらっていいけど術式
客はほとんど非術師。見えない側だ。
Boring. Yeah, that's the reason. Too boring. Not safety. Not the fact that, like, curses are so crazy that anything can happen. No, it's just because that's not good watching.
どこまでも客だな
They're the ones paying.
ビジネスだぞ。
ボスってどんな人
Entrepreneurial. A man who marches to the beat of his own drum.
今日のトーナメントのようなガチンコと八百長だ。
Oh, they have some fixed games
も
too.
ちろんボスが書く。
Okay.
うまくアピールできたら声がかかるかもな。
So maybe some Pulp Fiction in here too. Feel that? That's pride.
俺も初めて見た時はぶったまげたよ。
まさに客寄せってわけだ
Oh, this is like in, which one is it? Thor 3? Where our opponent is a friend. I don't know, but this sort of like makes it less fun for me because I don't want to fight Panda. Just took all the fighting spirit out of me. I guess we can communicate. Dangerous fireball kid. But he's actually a gorilla. Fallen for that one before. Believe it or not, gorilla. This is true. We actually fighting?
パンダ先輩はハカリ先輩に会えた
We're communicating. We're fight communicating. Oh, right. They were in school at the same time, right? Well, like, can you just vouch for us then? Since you have an in? He's with us. Like, we're not a huge fan of school ourselves, I hope. At this point. Let's honest. Still, 1 out of 2 weeks. Best out of 2 weeks, pretty good. Putting on a great show.
これは動物愛護団体が黙ってないぞーい。
演技下手
And they seem convinced. Okay. Oh, hi. This guy, I feel, is just like Too successful? He's bored. And drunk. Bored and drunk. Dangerous combination. You haven't lived. You haven't felt what life truly is until your ex maxes out your credit cards. Oh, they were in school together. She also is a JJ High. This guy's just living the life. That's hilarious, but if there's any sort of salient, useful point in there, it's that I personally think a lot of common problems can be solved by just taking on a sufficient level of challenge. Assuming it's not an actual problem, right? Like it's just rumination, because we're problem solvers, and so we're always going to have a problem. And so sometimes you can just solve a problem by moving up to a bigger problem. Coincidentally or not, that's very Fight Club, where they say after Fight Club, everything else in life gets the volume turned down. Little anxieties, chronic ruminations, of course not always, not for severe, real existential problems, but in many cases are just a sign that like we're not sufficiently challenged enough. And doing something like bigger is just an automatic level up. So like your ex maxing out your credit cards, you gotta rise to the occasion, right? You don't have time to worry about little things. You gotta fix that. You gotta make money. You gotta call those credit card companies, or you gotta like escape town or something, or start a spectator fight club for maximum profit. So he's also here for this purpose. Sort of infinite plane. His girlfriend. Boyfriend. What's that paradox where in order to go halfway, first you have to go halfway of halfway, so movement is impossible? We gotta win, and we gotta create a good narrative for the games for max profit. Yes, I expect him to blow it. Yes. Yeah, what is it? Yuji just knocking people out and winning this tournament off screen. I mean, looking at what he's built here, I would say his talents were wasted in school. I'm happy when he's happy. Happy to see him take an interest. Yeah, right. I have my doubts. That's how you earn. And that, my friends, is how you earn 1,000,000 yen in 20 minutes. You sell other people the method of how to earn 1,000,000 yen in an hour a day. And it turns out that method is selling other people the method of earning 1,000,000 yen in an hour. It's an infinite loop of prosperity. It's just money all the way down. You don't say. There it is. Here we go. Yeah. Right. It's flawless. Well, the good news is there's a never-ending amount of fools, so it's not actually cheating them because they can just do the same thing to others, and so everyone gets rich eventually. There's always a greater fool, and stocks always go up. And that's exactly what we use to exploit. Fighting. Drinking. That's okay, because you always get another spin. This is true. I like how we just walked in. Like, hi, nice to meet you. Yuji, my sweet child. Life runs on passion and gambling. Life is just a gamble, just like women who should gamble appropriately behind you. Gamble from back there. This is really interesting, though. Something I think related to his point that it creates a lot of dissonance in society as we know it is that we're kind of given and coached along two conflicting paths. Funny, because actually this is very Fight Club too, where we're told that the point of life or the highest achievement in a person's life is to be exceptional. We're all told we can be rock stars, etc. But then the path we're provided with is very unexceptional and average and sort of is designed for safety over outsized results. I think just generally speaking, when you're dealing with systems that are aimed at dealing with large numbers of people, it's just skewed so that more important than doing your best is avoiding the worst. This is a pattern you see again and again. Like, this is law, right? Like, law isn't about everyone living their best lives and being totally free directly. That's maybe like a later consequence of doing law correctly. But it's more like we just can't let things fall to ruin. We have to maintain a basic level of society so that things don't fall into the abyss. You could argue the same thing with the advice we get, where it's not really aimed at like virtue through endeavor, you know, make something great for the world or think about the highest ideal you can in life as yourself and what you as a unique individual can provide. And instead, it's more like you need to be able to have a minimum level of viability so that you can provide just enough to society so that you're able to eat. Because we need people to be able to eat, or else the other considerations are sort of worthless. Just like in the individual hierarchy of needs, you're not really going to be thinking about enlightenment or self-actualization or realization or whatever the term is if you're starving to death. So that's what it's aimed at. But we want and we idolize the exceptional. We want to be the standout. And this is one of the ways in which I think cultural differences can be the most pronounced. But at least in the US, exceptionalism is the goal to a crazy degree that is not always on the mark or hitting the target of what actually is useful, where people just want to be different. They want to be unique regardless of any sort of larger calling for service or contribution or anything. It's not anchored to anything. It's just, I'm radical. Just like how we forget money originally should be a reward for contribution of value. In this sphere of life, we confuse attention with contribution. But there are, of course, many non-contributive, often destructive ways to get attention. One way I think about this a lot, sort of in the same vicinity as gambling, is with stocks, because there's this common advice that you should save slow and steady and buy into index funds. And that can be tremendously powerful and can be great advice depending on one's goals. But like what it sort of misses is the risk reward thing. It creates dissonance in people who sort of want both. They want the safety, but also they're watching other people get phenomenally rich and have huge returns from the stock market, perhaps, and get a little bit bitter about seeing that when they're not getting those returns and will be really vocally against it, not realizing that it's two different games. You can play the safe, slow game, assuming that it's even actually safe, which is a whole other question. People get this wrong all the time. But if you want those massive returns, it means taking a lot of L's, but you're taking L's in the way where the payout, if you're doing it right, should be so outsized to the losses that eventually you will have a huge payout. It's interesting, over the years I've always done both. My very safe portfolio is really nice. It's nice to have. But like by far, the biggest returns I've gotten have been from extreme long shots. Like it's not even close. And those were all things that seemed really stupid. And if I would have told people I was doing those things, nobody would have understood what I was doing. And they were gambles. And like because of that, I also have lost everything in many individual investments, like gone to zero. And a lot of people just are not cut out for that because they just don't want to be in a situation where they have to look at something they've done and see or admit a loss. But again, you can't have it both ways. If you want something huge, you got to take a risk. And if you don't want to take risks, that's perfectly fine. You can do the standard thing, but that's going to get you the standard results. But there's so much confusion about these categories. What people hate isn't gambling. It's seeing other people succeed by risking things they themselves don't want to risk. In summary, I like this guy a lot already.
できるだけ穏やかに暮らしたい人もいるんじゃん。
Yes, but it's sort of rare. Like you have to be fully knowledgeable of what that means. So much of these things, so much of these deliberations about life, I think come down to the level of cognizance of it. So like if you know the game and you don't have any hangups about like where you are in the game and you genuinely want a nice, peaceful life, then that's a beautiful thing. The conflict really comes from people who want the passion and they want the gambling and they want the highs, but they can't stomach the risk of the lows. And so they live in sort of the middle. And so they're a little bit like touchy about other people who are living the highs. Or anytime there is something that suggests or hints that they too could maybe approach those highs themselves, that triggers the self-preservation mechanisms.
熱はギャンブルで、ギャンブルは人生だ。そして愛とは支配だ。
What? No, we're just like throwing random things in here.
ファイトクラブでこの国の熱を支配したい。
Okay, Tyler Durden.
あらゆる障害を潰し、来たる呪術規定の改
Sounds
定
like
に
passion
乗
to
じて
me.
ファイトクラブの存在を公に認めさせる。
Are you aware of something called the culling games?
俺の
Yeah, this is why he flunked
熱を
school.
見ないか。
どうもと相談が。
I like how he's calling him boss. Are you gonna get that? Someone answer it.
虎杖、何か飲むか。
ああ。
This passion is making me thirsty.
酒以外で。
なんだ、弱いのか。
強い弱い以前に店へ。
Imagine, it's so cute. It's so cute after everything we've been through. We're respecting the local liquor laws.
五条って誰？っていうか持って、俺は別に。
Someone please answer the phone. If that's his girlfriend, he's gambling with her love right now. He's gambling with an argument.
なんで知らないふりした。お前、
Oh, we overplayed his hand a little bit.
高専の回しもんか。
Oops, we're busted. Just confess. Time to confess everything. Yes, I was. I'm friends with Panda. Don't kill me, sir.
聞いて。
Oh my god, what the hell was that? Oh my god.
テルバンでの着信はな、異常事態の合図なんだよ。
He didn't need to answer it.
冷めちまってるからな。
What? Looks pretty passionate to me. Episode 52 of Passion. That was amazing. I love this scene. That was so cool. His philosophy was so rich in so few words, a skill I could stand to learn. Yuji and him also seem like a perfect match again. There's something about Yuji. Maybe I'm not fully appreciating the genius of his character. He just ends up being a natural fit with so many different people. Like whatever they are, if they're interesting, Yuji's a good fit for them. Maybe it's because of that sort of open-mindedness or purity or grounding, where it's not pretentious. He doesn't have an axe to grind any one way or the other. He's going to be gracious and generous to the person's ideas and philosophies, and he's going to take something useful out of it. So it's sort of like he is an embodiment of the good faith approach to people's ideas. Name me a person that doesn't match well with Yuji. It's funny because they're fighting right now, but it's already so obvious these two are such a great match and they're going to be really close and great friends. I imagine they're both passionate people. I think that maybe this guy's drug isn't passion, it's adrenaline. Like he's right. But speaking of the anchoring, what exactly is it for, right? It doesn't seem like there's a higher, nobler goal here yet. It seems like, wouldn't it be crazy if, and also the accumulation of things that are quantifiable but have no limit, right? So like money, which he has plenty of, which is why he's bored of it. Power, which, you can always have more power. Women, you can always have more women. But then you indulge these things at some point. If you're just on that loop of the thing for the thing, you end up destroying yourself, because what happens is you hit the point of diminishing returns on the pleasure, but there's still more you can get. You're addicted to it. It is a drug. Getting high on my passion was a apt way to put that. And so what sometimes happens, I think, is you end up getting so bored, you start taking it to crazier and crazier heights, and you start acting out in really weird and dangerous ways. Like when I was in the habit of going out a lot, I could sort of feel when I was hitting that wall or when I was overdoing it, because bad things would start happening. Like I'd start getting into fights, or I would start doing things that would make me sort of unrecognizable to myself. That's when I knew I had to take a break. There needs to be an anchoring. What's interesting about this is that maybe there is one. There is this world-ending apocalyptic potentially event starting in 10 days that you may not have heard about. That's a thing, right? Like you can fight for humanity. Maybe we can maybe save the world. There's maybe some fraternity possible here. Maybe you actually can like love your girlfriend. Maybe you can be really good to her because she seems to really care about you. Maybe we can build something really cool here.